Hello, hello, hello. So, my name's Josh. Basically, what I think I'm going to start doing here is doing some motorsport hot takes, maybe on a weekly or bi weekly basis. I got friends that are going to be joining later on during the year, and we're just going to kind of talk about racing and our hot takes and our opinion, which I think some people will. I need my camera to just stop focusing in this work. Um, some people won't agree, and some people will probably agree. But so that's what we're starting here is just a little breakdown talk. Any of my friends that see this, if they want to send a message or leave a comment and be like, you should talk about this next time, or this is my opinion, or hey, I want to come argue with you and tell you you're an idiot for 5 minutes. Like, I'm all open for it. You know what I mean? I'm just open to discussions about racing and dirt bikes, Formula One, NASCAR, any MotoGP, anything that's going on. That's just been my life growing up. I grew up in a household where there was either racing or some other type of engines or TV show going on that just revolved around internal combustion engines. That was just my life growing up. Formula One, NASCAR, MotoGP, Supercross is just constantly was going on in my house. Um, my dad raced street bikes when I was a kid, and so I grew up going to the track and watching my dad race street bikes. And then when I was old enough to ride, I was never really that fast, but I had the passion, and I still do, but I don't ride at the moment, but it is what it is. But no, I just want to take a moment, kind of get an intro to this going and give people a heads up. So maybe people want to tune in and, if people want, I can do them live. So there can be like a live comment section. I don't know if people would be interested in that. I already stream video games, so it wouldn't be that hard to just on Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights we stream, you know, moto content. So that's just kind of what I'm feeling out here. Just trying to put out some feelers with this little intro video. Um, I always have these long, in-depth conversations about racing and what people are doing and what we speculate with my friends every day. And it just doesn't it just makes sense of like, let's just record it. Like, let's just see if anyone else agrees. And if they don't, fucking whatever. Welcome to America, where you have the freedom to not agree with me and I don't have to agree with you. That's the beauty of it. So, I'll try not to get on the politics though when we talk about this stuff, but I mean, it might happen. So hopefully people don't get too upset about that. We might just start saying some crazy off the wall shit. But so I guess this episode, I was just going to do a quick thing of just saying my opinion of what I think is going to happen. So I honestly think Hayden Deegan is if people still think Hayden's not the guy or not the dude, you're just fucking a hater. And I'm not trying to be like a Deegan fanboy here, but he's going out there and Cole Davies already makes people look slow or makes other people look like they're not even close. Cole Davies is a generational talent. Cole Davies is excellent. And he's going out there and winning the race by 15 seconds on Cole Davies. And Davies whole shot it. And I understand it's a 250 and everyone, there's been a lot of guys that were great on 250s that didn't transition well to 450s. That happens a lot. But when it comes to Deegan, I don't think he's going to have that problem. I think he's just going to be juiced that the bike's faster. Honestly. I mean, in qualifying at St. Louis last week, and he qualified better. He was a faster than the 450 guys. I understand the tracks broke down. But, I mean, even, let me look here. Even in the race, let's see. Roxon's best lap was a 55.3. Deegan's best lap was a 55.1. Yes, the track's better. The 250s went out there and did 18 laps on the track. The 450 guys had to come and ride on that after. I get it. I know. But still, on a 250, he's putting up the numbers, the same speed damn near as the 450 guys. And I just I think when he goes to 450s, it's I don't see much changing, and I strongly believe that something clicked in Deegan's head, and I don't know if it was after getting hurt and not doing designations, and I don't know if he went home and said, "This ain't fucking happening again. Fuck that. I'm gonna go out there and I'm show everyone I'm the fucking best. I'm not gonna give anyone the opportunity to take me out and put me in a situation like that again." Like I don't know what happened, but something clicked in Deegan because he's putting on a clinic. He's make Levi Kitchen is a fucking solid great rider, and him and Deegan have been like this for like the last 2 years, and he's making Kitchen look like he's like on a privateer bike for the most part. There's that one race where they were close, but other than that, I mean Deegan's just gapping him. You know, when they took his win away, Deegan was like 10th on like lap 2 and fucking reeled everyone in and won. And it's just like we haven't seen something like that in a long time. And it's good for the sport. It really is. But I I'm not gonna put a whole bunch of pressure on Deegan for that first race of the year on a 450, that first outdoor race. I think he's gonna get a top 5 overall. I do. I think at Hangtown, where they've got the rice husk and it's got the ups and the elevation change and the big jumps and the deep ruts, that's where I think Deegan's gonna do good. I think that's gonna be the tale of the season. If Deegan goes out there and podiums, maybe wins a moto at PC, he does that for the rest of the year. If he goes out there and doesn't, I don't know. He might for the rest of the year get some podiums, but I don't think he's going to dominate. But I think if he goes out there and does good at PC, he'll continue to do good for the rest of the year. I really do. And on that kind of side topic of like showing up, I think Tomac's hurt right now. I think Tomac's hurt. I know people are saying he's not hurt, and he's saying he's not hurt. But the way he rode the first 7 rounds of the maybe more of the season, that intensity, how hard he was riding, the charging, that's gone. That is gone. And people are speculating it's bike setup. Well, if it's bike setup, oh, my voice is cracked. If it's bike setup, go back to what you had at the beginning of the year then. That makes me think it's not bike setup. And people say it's dirt. I don't think it's that much to where he's that off the pace. I think he's got a lower extremity injury. I I don't think it's bad enough to need surgery, but I think it's bad enough that he's not riding that much during the week. And I think if what's the next race? Nashville. I think if Tomac doesn't come back at Nashville, he's not gonna win the championship. He's not. He needs to show up at Nashville. He needs to put, belt to ass in Nashville if he's gonna win the championship. If he doesn't, he's not winning. It's gonna be between Roxon, who's riding unbelievable, versus Hunter, who's also riding unbelievable. But I wonder if that continues in the outdoor, because he's the only dude right now for Honda. So I'm wondering, the second he isn't the only dude, is he going to go back to the Hunter Lawrence that we've seen the last 2 years, where it's top tens, top fives, not battling the leaders, not leading the points? Does he go back to that? I don't know. But, here's a hot take. Has Deegan just mentally broke Cooper Webb? I mean, that's the most biggest hot take I can take right now, and it doesn't even make sense. But what if practice during the week, they're just, is Cooper Webb looking at this kid riding and just going, "What the fuck? How is he a half a second faster than me a lap on a 250? What the fuck's going on?" Is Cooper Webb starting to doubt himself? I love Cooper Webb. I think Cooper Webb's a dog. He's a dog, multi-champion for a fucking reason. But is he seeing this new talent every day? Going, what the fuck are we just? What's going on? So I don't know. Those are just my hot takes, you know. So um, I'll probably leave it there just for to leave it open ended for maybe in a week. I'll have a buddy come on. We'll have a discussion and a talk, and we can see what goes on from there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know where to go from here, but um, there's just so much to unpack, and a lot of stuff I just said, especially with Cooper Webb, because that just, I mean, it's such a far reach of what I've said, but is it just like a possibility? Because I haven't seen Cooper Webb ride this bad since he was on a KTM and he hated the fucking bike, and he was still doing better, you know. So I just don't know. Um, you know, maybe next week we'll get into some Chase Sexton stuff and what's going on there, and you know, we'll see. But I think I'm gonna call it for here today. Get this going. Send this to my buddies. See what they got to say about it. But yeah. So in the comments or send me a text, because I mean, most of the people that are gonna watch this are not gonna be random people. So it's mostly gonna be my buddies. So send me a text. Tell me what you think. If you think we should do this live, so people who don't want to, you know, talk can send a message and just, hey, talk about this, and you know, I'll talk about it, or whatever you guys want to do. But or if you guys think this is a fucking stupid idea, just fucking tell me. But before we leave, just give a shout out to our sponsor for this episode, Speed Colt. They gave me $600 a minute to talk. So no, no, my buddy Matt, Speed Colt, fucking super solid fucking dude. Love that guy. Um, just a genuinely super fun person to be around. So I just love to support that guy. So just wanted to joke around about that. But yeah, so I'm gonna call it there, and you guys just let me know what you think we should do with this.